Hey everybody, welcome to Just a Conversation. It's a show where I sit down with people I know. Some of them are past friends from the military, some are friends I've met since retirement. And we just sit down and have conversations about life, family, kids, and most importantly, how we're dealing with life, mental health and things of that nature. About to debut my first episode. This episode is with a good friend of mine for over 20 years, served with him. He's a great friend, one of my best friends. Goes by the name of Curtis Harris. Now, those in our circle from our military days, we all know him as Dirty Harry. I'm gonna give you a warning right now. This is not something to be watching around small children or listening to. So if you got small ears around, you might wanna send them somewhere else before you start watching this. But it's a good conversation. It's a real conversation. I like to meet people where they are. It's not in the studio or nothing like that, but just sitting on the couch, chopping it up, catching up, and having a great conversation. So this is part one, me and my dear friend Dirty Harry, just having a conversation.
It's just like what I told you earlier. It's how we was raised, right? Mom and dad tell you something, and they tell you, okay, look, you don't do this, this is what the fuck gonna happen to you.
Right.
And then I don't wanna call him my stepdad, but Joseph Harris, aka Bozo, baddest motherfucker I ever seen, right? So that's him right there. If I can, yeah, that's Bozo. Back in the 70s, that's how they used to, so that's how they used to, that's how they used to dress back in the day. But it was just like, to be perfectly honest with you, Blue, I never, at the time, right, I never met somebody that was so well respected, regardless of what he did. I mean, like, Bozo was the type of person, like, okay, if he knew you, right, you was good. But even then, he kind of like had you like, in a, you was good with him, but he never let nobody get like too close to him. And so, I'll never forget that one night, he won big money, right? So he was with them dice or whatever. And I think he had like close to like $2,000. That's off of dice.
Yeah.
And so they was like, so he, how motherfuckers, like, okay, hey, look, I'm trying to cash out, whatever the fuck they do, right? And so they were just like, hey, no, we trying to.
You gonna get our shit back.
You gonna get our shit back. So it was just like, hey, blah, 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 whatever. Shit went down, right? They jumped in, whatever. So he made it back to the house. Right? And so he all blooded up and all that kind of stuff. And he ended up going to the hospital. And so, but I'm hearing this. And he telling my mama, I was like, look, I know I know who did each other. I know who did each other, right? And just know, they finna motherfucking pay, right? And so my mom like, look, Bozo, it ain't this serious. And so he's like, no, fuck that. So I'll never forget it because like, there was like during the summer, right? I'm out of school. So he would take me on his routes. And I'll never get it. Right there on 9th Street, right? He saw one of them motherfuckers. And he stopped that man right in the middle of the road, right? Put this something in park, hit the hazard lights. He said, don't you go nowhere. Pulled the pistol out, went into the alley, right? He didn't shoot him, but he pistol whipped that motherfucker.
Shit out of it.
Right? Mm-hmm. Got back in the truck, wiped his hands off, wiped the gun off, drove off like it wasn't nobody's motherfucking business. And he got every last one of them. Every last one of them. And so it was right there, I knew, okay, this is somebody that you don't fuck over.
Right.
You know? And then, even with my actual dad, I met my dad when I was like 19, you know? And then, had it not been for my younger brother, probably, I'm not gonna say that I never would have met my actual dad, because we was in Little Rock. And so we would always come to McAllen, which is like a suburb to North Little Rock. So the rest of my family was like, look, you need to tell that boy something. Because what happens if he bring one of his cousins home and then you gotta explain that shit?
Yeah.
You know, and so my brother was born and he about your color. He probably like he about your color now, but when he was young, right, he was like about 2 shades lighter than you, right? And so for me, right, I was just happy, hey, look, I got a brother. So when Byron was born, right, I was happy. I'm just looking at this, look, I got a baby brother.
Right.
Right? But once he got where that I can actually really bring him outside, right? Mm-hmm. You know, they looking at me and then they looking at him like, well, how come he lighter than you? Mm-hmm. Right? So I knew so at the time, right, you know, you can't explain shit, you know, so so at the time, what the fuck that I knew at the time, I was just looking at myself like, okay, well, I took my mom's color because I'm thinking, hey, Bozo is my dad, right?
I got you. Okay.
You know, so I'm just like, okay, well, I'm taking my mom's color.
Right.
And Byron taking after Bozo, right? So, but the question, it was steady there. So I asked Mom, like, okay, what's going on? And then she actually really told me. She said, baby, that's not your real dad. So I was like, okay, well, who's my dad? And she told me, John Martindale is your dad. Well, shit, I want to meet him. Right? When I graduated high school, and took graduation pictures, right? Mm-hmm. And this is when my grandmother, when both of them were, they were still alive at the time, right? So my grandmother on my mother's side, out of 13 grandkids, right? Mm-hmm. I'm the only one that actually already graduated high school.
Really?
Yeah. And so, you know, doing that, right? You know, so like as grandparents, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, look, my grandson graduated high school. So, you know, you take your graduation pictures or what. So I ended up, when my mother gave my grandmother graduation picture. And you know how grandparents are. You know, they proud, blah, blah, blah. And then she messed around And she ran into my uncle at the gas station, was in walking distance of our house. And she showed my uncle Avance, right? And so the first thing that flew out of his mouth, he said, how come this is the first time I'm seeing my nephew? Word got out, he told his mama, my grandmother, right?
Paisley, let's go.
And then them two got together. And so my grandmother, right, said, hey, look, go see your grandma. So I'm like, what are you talking about? And she gave me the address or whatever. So I'm nervous as shit, right? And so I go see my grandmother, right? And so I knocked on, I'm scared as shit because I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. So I talked to her and I said, well, how you doing, ma'am? You know, I told her who I was and I'm like, well, to my understanding, you know, I'm John's son, right? You know how grandparents are, right? She said, let me see your hands. So I showed her my hands, right? He said, yeah, you got the most ugly ass Martindale hands. She's like, she did. She said, yeah, you got the most ugly ass Martindale hands.
Dude, I just had a conversation with somebody a couple weeks ago of how rough, how traumatizing grandparents talk to their ass.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Because, you know, back then, grandparents didn't give a fuck.
Hey,
I mean,
you getting a little fat.
yeah, so
You sure look ugly today.
Yeah, so at the time, right? So at the time, right, I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's seeing something in the hands that I can't see because even right today, I'm just like, okay. But she's like, yeah, you got the most ugly ass Martindale hands like your dad got. So she done got on the phone. She done called everybody, right? And so all my aunties come over. And so I'll never forget my one auntie, she come over. And she's like, she just looked at me, she's like, John, your daddy, huh? And I was like, well, that's, I mean, you know, that's what everybody telling me, right? So this is like the weekend prior of me seeing him, right? And so he calls. And so my grandma was like, baby, this your daddy. I can tell you word for what he said. So he was like, I understand that you my son. And so I was like, okay, yeah, that's what everybody's telling me. So he was like, what were you doing next weekend? I'm like, I ain't doing nothing. Right? He said, well, you come back. So he like, you at your grandmama's house? I'm like, yeah. Well, you show up this same time next Saturday. The next Saturday happens. I'm nervous as shit. You know, it's almost like going to the promotion board almost. Because I really don't know.
You know what this
I really don't know how, I don't know what type of bag he gonna come out of. He don't know what type of bag I'm gonna come out of, right? Because for me, right, I always pictured my dad as old, big, tall, 6+, 220, 240, whatever, just muscles everywhere, right? So when I see it, right, this motherfucker the same size as me, right? And so I'm just like, so at the time, right, I'm like, okay, all right. So, but you gotta understand something. This man didn't know shit about me.
So he had no clue he had a son.
No, he didn't. Because my mother kept it away from him.
Okay.
Because at the time, right?
So he wasn't on like no deadbeat dad
No,
shit. He just didn't know.
He didn't know because the time that I was born, he was still in. So it was just like, so she didn't want to fuck up his career. So she never told him. I was born in 73. He retired in 1980. Right? So, but then again, years go by, you know, nothing. But then when in my sophomore year at Little Rock Central, right? How about I'm sitting next to my cousin and didn't even motherfucking know he was my goddamn cousin. The city of McAllen, if that's what you want to call it, right? Everybody knows everybody, right? You got the Martindales, you got the Reddies, or whatever. So for the most part, everybody knew everybody. And I know you heard of the saying, you know your own people, right? Once you know what you look like, and then you see that in somebody else, then that's what it is. But at the time, right, because my cousin, I didn't know nothing, he didn't know nothing either. So we looking right at each other every day in math class. Right? And so he can't catch it and I can't catch it either. Right? So, but when I was young, right, it just seemed like every time I turned the news on, Martindale this, Martindale, I mean, that first group, apparently they was like, they did shit, you know, they was always in the fucking news, right? So, and it was always something bad, you know. So
I thought you were about to say like
no. So at the time, right, my mom, right, she knew who the fuck I was.
Yeah.
And she was like, she was just shake her head.
Trying to keep it in
She
there.
was just like, them damn Martindales, they ain't about shit. That was all she was saying, knowing that I'm a motherfucking Martindale.
Yeah.
Right? So now he knows that I'm his son. So you already know what the fuck is gonna happen next. He 20 year, I'm a veteran. Did 2 tours over in Vietnam. So I was like, damn.
Yeah.
The one time wasn't good enough for you, you had to go back. You know, so anyway, right? So he was just like, so he looking at me. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Right? And so at the time I'm 19, right? I'm rebellious as hell.
Yeah.
So he was wanting me to go in then. And so at the time, right, like, if I didn't mention this earlier, right, 8 years old, I knew what the fuck I wanted to do. And yeah, I used to tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna join the army. And you know, so tell me right to this day, what boy that you know that's gonna say, like, cause you know, most boys were like, hey mama, I'm gonna play basketball, I'm gonna play football, or I'm gonna be a boxer or a rapper that get you out. Tell me one motherfucker that you know that said, my mama joined the army and I wanna be a 5-star general.
Right.
You know, because I was that type of motherfucker, right? I always wanted to be on time on shit. It's like, okay, I'm like, tell me what time to be there. I'm gonna be there.
Military mindset.
So yeah, I had it back then, and then even with my first wife, right?
Where you think that come from though? Like at that, like to be even prior to coming to the military, what's driving you to have a mindset of somebody that's in the military?
I was born with it. That's the only.
Because you were feeling like that before you even met your dad, right?
Yeah. You know, because I always liked the fact of being on time.
Right.
And so like even like when my first wife, you know, like when we was dating, I'll never forget it, right? She wanted to go see a movie. And the movie was at, the showing time was 7:30. I forget the movie, right? I said, okay, movie started 7:30. I'm coming to your house 7 o'clock. Be ready. I get there. How about this motherfucker not ready? And so I'm like, what the fuck? Why you ain't ready? And she's like, well, you know, they gonna do 15 minutes of previews. Damn it, I wanna watch the preview. so you know, I'm just saying, that's just how the fuck I was. And then even now with my current wife, yesterday, we got into it. We got into it tough. You hear me?
Y'all got to be arguing about we old, man.
No, but you know, but it's just for the simple fact that when you been in as long as me and you been in, and then even if you had that before you come in, right? And then I always believed, whether it's the United States Army, whether it's motherfucking alcohol, or whatever the fuck that you want to indulge in, right? It ain't gonna do nothing but highlight what you already have. And so that's what the fuck the United States Army did for me. Go in my closet right now. All of my shit is pressed.
Your shit dressed. You got
I'm just like
3 fingers apart.
Yeah. Right? Like I get pissed off now. The clock on the motherfucking microwave and on the stove, you just don't know how many times that she didn't call me like, baby, what the fuck are you doing? And I'll be like, I need both of my clocks to say the exact same shit at the exact same time. Right?
I ain't gonna lie, that's a pet peeve. Man. I can't stand that shit.
So that was
I can't
fair.
stand for one clock to say something and another
Yeah,
clock to say
because
something.
I'm just like, oh, so we in different time zones now. Right? So it is so Lisa be like, she be like, baby, you need to come fuck that. I said, no. I'll be like, 7 o'clock. We don't need to be leaving. The garage don't need to be already closed and we going in that direction. Right? Just like yesterday. We left out the house 7:06. I'm madder than a motherfucker.
Where y'all going?
Because, you know, I drop off and then I go to the gym.
Oh, okay.
So for me, right, I already computed in my mind. Okay, if we leave the house right at 7 o'clock, I already took in consideration of traffic. I done took all that into consideration, right? So if traffic is really good, I could get her to her job by 7:25, maybe 7:30. I get to the gym around about 7:35, 7:40. And so for me, right, I have a deadline. I have what you call a red line. So if I show up to the gym, anything after 7:45, yeah, it's finna be a motherfucking problem.
Well, what happened? All the shit getting used up or?
I mean, because for me, right, I already know what the fuck I'm gonna do at the gym. I already know what the fuck I'm gonna do at the gym. And for the most part, at a certain time, I'm just like, okay, I need to have this many reps done and then how many miles that I need to do on the bicycle, right? And so if I don't do that, right, then yeah, you done
fuck up the rest of your day
you,
after
you,
that?
you done fucked up the rest of the damn day. And so I'm like, so yesterday, 7:06, right? Here she come out the house. I don't say shit. I'm mad than a motherfucker, right? And so I was like, do we have to do this shit tomorrow? Right? And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look, we left out the house 7:05 today. Yesterday, yesterday it was 7:06. The day before it was 7:05. You fucking with my gym time, right? And so now she mad.
Right.
Well, you tell that bitch, tell her I said hi, right? And so you know how we was in the gym, right? That's all what the fuck we focus on. We ain't worried about no bitch, right? And so basically what I did was, and it's funny right to this day. It was just yesterday. So basically what I did, I took a picture of all the machines in the damn gym, right? I was like, since you worried about a bitch, hit all of them right here, right? So I'm just like, look, when I come to the gym, that's all what the fuck I'm focused on.
This one thing I done learned about myself as I done got older. I don't think I get so much as aggravated like with the motherfuckers in the gym.
Yeah.
Man, I value my quiet.
Yeah.
My peace,
And
man.
you know, and see,
I want you to try that, man. You ain't got to get nothing crazy, right? Because it sounds like I figure now we getting to the point now. It ain't too much shit I need to be mad about.
Yeah.
I can be aggravated. I can be a little frustrated, but to say I'm mad is a strong thing now because man, the bills paid, the kids all right, the grandkids all right. What we really tripping on, man?
But you know,
you'll say yourself some hard.
But you know what though? I hear you on that, right? And then I give it. I
still like to be hostile a little bit.
You
still like to be mad a little bit.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like right now, right? Put it like this: if you wasn't here right now, I hate to say it, but I have to be pissed off about something.
No, you don't.
Okay, I get you. Look, Blue, you my boy. I love you to death. But and then my wife, she done told me. She said she actually really just flat out told me, right? You can't go to sleep until you have an argument, in which, for the most part, it's sad to say.
You got to run your battery down.
But I gotta be pissed off at something or somebody, because, and regardless of what motherfuckers have told me that have done this before us, motherfuckers tell me, hey, look, it's gonna take you about like 5 or 6 years, 8 years to actually really get this shit out of you. But the thing about it though is this: they don't know how I was as a child. So this is shit that's been in me since I was a child. And then the Army just highlighted what I already had. So I'm just like, okay, I can be on time. Now, basic training was the best time that I ever had. I always knew that I was going to join the Army. Wasn't nothing going to stop that. But I was looking at this like, okay, let me do my 20. And then say like around year 17, year 18, I find that one, right? And then I could be like, we can date, whatever. And then by the time I get out, right, I'm retired, we marry, whatever. And then if shit go wrong, right, she may get something. Right? So, she might get something, right? But, I was just like, okay, I can cut my losses and then I really ain't got to lose a whole lot. That was the plan, right? But then I run into motherfucker, right? And then she used to run track, and it was the legs that got me, because she had them legs, dog. So I was like, well, damn, So you know how shit goes. So shit happens, and so for the most part, and you know how it was, right? I come to Germany, whatever. She ain't there. Yeah, I ain't finna doggone like rehash all that shit. So what the fuck, But that was the plan. That was my plan.
Right.
Because regardless of what the fuck I did, I already knew that I was gonna do 20.
Right.
That was fuck every goddamn thing else. I was gonna do 20. That was the goal, because it's what my dad did.
Right.
If I had, motherfuckers always ask the question, if you had it to do all over again, would you do it again? And put it like this. If I could keep the 2 grandbabies, yeah, most definitely. If there's anything else that I want in this world to happen, I want my army buddies, all 5 of y'all, so to meet the motherfuckers that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Because I look at it like this. All what you catching is what the fuck I did in the army. Yeah, you probably caught a little bit, but to hear it from them, then you be like, okay, now I understand. So now you can say, now you understand Harris 2734. You know what the fuck Harris 2734 was.
Well, dude, I understand a lot more now just listening to you talk about, being a kid and stuff.
Yeah, so for me, right, it's to do what we did. And we did a damn good job.
Yeah.
Cause remember, before, like when you came to see me, right? When I was down and out, cause I was
Not worried about you.
I was about to end it. If I had a gun.
I told Shantae, I said, when I go up here, don't be surprised he come back with me.
Yeah,
And
I was ready.
She said, okay.
I was ready.
I was
ready.
Down that road.
I was ready. I was so motherfucking. At that particular time, I was like so fucking burnt out that, because where I was staying at, it was a railroad track right there. And had you not came see me, I'd have stood right in front of that motherfucker and let the train hit me. That's just how fucked up I was.
I knew something was up. I could hear it in your voice, man. But I think the thing is the bravest thing a motherfucker can do is make the call.
Yeah.
Because you could have just been like, nah, I ain't finna call.
No, because
everybody worried about.
Yeah.
I don't know if they worried about pride or embarrassment.
At one point,
fuck all that.
At one point, I was just like, you know what? I ain't gonna tell nobody, because going back to my mom, right? I watched her take her last breath. And regardless of what people say, it's not what you want. It's not what the fuck you want because of how I felt. I thought I was motherfucking Superman. Because, for one, I had the greatest job in the world. Right? I could lift shit, I could do whatever, right? But I couldn't keep my mama from dying. I love my wife. Love her to death. But as far as like Ella Jean Strother is concerned, it's the only true woman that I would actually really love because she came in life and then she knows my mother. She knows my mother. And then when I came back, she came and got me, Blue. She
Yeah, I
came
remember
and
that.
got me.
You told me that.
And then it's just for the simple fact that she didn't meet my dad. And right to this day, that shit fucking hurts. Right to this day. If it's two things that really hurts me right to this day, is that my dad never got to meet the woman that I truly love, besides my mother. And just for the simple fact that I will never know to actually really be a true dad. Because I have no biological kids. And at 52, no. No. I mean, and then even like, and then but see, but here's the beauty with this, and maybe you can shed some light on this. How come is it that her daughter look at me as her dad?
Because this is the thing, and people have said it before, and it sounds cliche. You might not be somebody's biological dad, but you're a father,
Yeah.
and that shit is way more important. I heard when she called you,
Yeah.
she said, "Pawpaw."
Yeah.
She ain't hesitate. She ain't like she concerned about her baby, and she asking you, and she trusting you to tell her what was going on. And I think we get, yeah, biological is biological, but I know a lot of biological dudes who they some shit ass dads.
Yeah.
They ain't no father.
Yeah.
What's important is who's in the life, who's taking care of them, who's building that trust and that bond, who can they come to? Because
Yeah.
you can go out there and you can bust up in something and have a whole fucking fire team. If you don't take care of them, what's the fucking point?
With her, and then even when I was in, at first it was like the squad, then it turned into the battery, and then it was the battalion. I mean, actually, like once I got back stateside, and then like before I retired, right? Everybody in the battalion calling me Pawpaw, right? So I'm just like, so for me, right? Put it like this.
Hold on. I just thought about something.
What's that?
You gotta excuse
Okay.
me for interrupting you.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you ever realized that everybody you work with, that work for you,
Uh huh.
love you?
this goes back to what, for one, what Bozo taught me. And everybody in the neighborhood. So I'm just saying, shout out to Mama Clayton, shout out to Mama Yancey. The two main, besides my actual mother, Joanne Clayton, which is her mother, Doris Yancey, which is Harold Yancey, Harold Yancey Jr., Arvis Thomas, Shanala, Shamika, everybody, right? Everybody in that neighborhood on that corner of Maple and Maryland was what is what actually like really caused me to be the person that I am today. And then when I met your ass, right? I'm just like, this motherfucker, okay. I just know, cause at the time, right, I just like, okay, he old, like, he probably bullied motherfuckers for lunch money and all that kind of shit, you know. But that's what I thought of you at the time, right? But then
you ain't the only one.
I was just like, okay, but then again, I was like, once I got to know you, I'm like, okay, all right, this motherfucker, he ain't half bad.
I'm a nice
you
guy.
know? And so it then we go to Germany. Right? You left before I did. And I'll never be, like, I'm going to Germany. I was like, well, fuck, okay. You know, because I was like at the end of my first contract. So I was like, well, fuck, I want to go to Germany. I want to see what Germany's about, right? And then I get there, and I'll never get it. I'm on the motherfucking bus, and you had that green.
That Civic.
That Civic. I was just like, okay, all right. So, and then you saw me, so you like, Harry, what's up? And I'm like, dog, I just got here, blah, 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 blah. And so you told me like, dog, once you get with your shit, come holler at me. And I'll never get it. Range distance. I run into you, and you said, because y'all was doing the M16 range. I was like, dog, because even before range distance happened, y'all motherfuckers, I forget what it was. Y'all had won something.
Right? We want everything.
And then, and so here come first sergeant car, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck he was at, but he was like, hey, yo, I'm here. I'm just like, oh shit.
Who that motherfucker?
I'm just like, who is this?
I want to work for him.
I'm just like, who is he? I need to be like, look, I want to be in his battery because I really saw how y'all really like.
It was a family, man.
The shit was there.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm just like, you know what? That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
And then I knew that you was there. I'm just like, no, we did the rain, the rain distance.